Hi, it's me, Iris Wood of the Agora Project. I decided I wanted to come on here and just talk about my creative process or something about the new record I just put out, Land of the Queens. I'm really lazy about putting it on YouTube, so I've wanted for the longest to do a video where I break down the production by showing the project files and everything. But considering it's taken me so long to just remember to upload the fucking album to my YouTube channel, I don't think I'm gonna have the work ethic to actually make a video of that vein. In fact, I don't think I'm gonna have the work ethic to edit this video. So this is just gonna be an unedited yapping session. Literally the only sort of editing I'm gonna be doing is cutting out the intro part where I work on the technical of the microphone situation, and the outro where I go turn off the camera, and also dubbing in this. Other than that, I'm not editing this fucking thing, so sorry if this turns into an unedited yap session, or I'm kind of incoherent, or I'm just not making the most sense. I just want to talk about the record for once, because I've been wanting to make a video for my last few records where I break down my thoughts going into it, my thoughts on tracks, my how I came up with stuff, what my inspiration for certain things were, what my mental state was at the time, what I was going through, and this record in specific because oh my god, there's a lot going on in the world, not just with me, but with the world in general. Let me check that we're still recording. Yes, we are. All right. I'm not too familiar with this microphone. I've used it a handful of times. I got it from Walmart. It was like $10. I got it because I don't actually know why. I actually forget why, but still. So the album, Land of the Queens, it is very much a political record by most political records since Death of a Nation in 2023, which originally was supposed to be my third album, I believe. I think it came out before Divine Suicide. That was supposed to be my follow-up to Entropy, I think. And that record was supposed to be a narrative about someone who goes to the South, sees the just bad government stuff, people in poverty, wars going on, everything, and decides to rally people together and bring them to fight the government and get everyone, freedom, peace, unity. But the issue with the album is one, the mixes ended up not great. And I even sent them off to an old friend who used to mix stuff for me. But unfortunately, they're not good anymore, or at least they're not up to the standard that I want to now. Because the last time I worked with them was like 2019 when I was 16 and had lower standards because I was a fucking child. So shit doesn't sound good. In fact, the 2019 mixtape Sad Boy only exists on one fucking platform, mymixtapes.com. And it's only still out there because I don't know how to delete it. Honestly, and then my second mixtape, Gradients in 2020, is only alive in my Google Drive. Neither of them are good, but the point of this ramble is that I tried working with someone who I used to work with in the past, and the mixes came back bad, and even after that, I scrapped like two of the songs, so the narrative didn't even make sense anymore. I scrapped one of the songs that was literally key to the whole going to war faction thing section of the album. So without that, it just kind of jumps from there's turmoil, there's turmoil, there's turmoil to the final track, where it's like, hey, we beat the bad guys. Isn't that great? I also didn't really love how the record turned out in themes of messaging because I kind of towards the end, especially on Glorious Nation, that closer that I mentioned, play an angle of both sides are important when that's not fucking true. One of them is literally trying to kill everyone who does not like them, and the other side, try to do that less so. Is my shit still recording? I hate when it goes to fucking sleep. Alright, yeah, it's still going. Just worried because it blacked out for a second. Ugh. I hate fucking savers and like tech and stuff. Anyhow. So this record, Land of the Queens, was one that I always wanted to make because that Death of a Nation record I had been so passionate about, wanting to get my messages and feelings and stuff on a bunch of different thoughts politically out there, but not exactly knowing how to go about it, especially because as a trans person, I wasn't out yet at the time in 2023. It wasn't even a thing that I had fully accepted yet either, because realizing that I was trans involved realizing trans people existed for me, because growing up, I always felt like that I was a girl trapped inside a boy's body. That's literally how I would describe it to my therapist. That's literally how I would write in my journals. That's literally how I thought about it for years and years and years. I would literally take my stuff and invert it inside, like while I was in the shower and stuff. Like, dude, you're gonna tell me whatever. Any and so in like 2024, I realized that yeah, this is the path that I need to go down. And since going down it, my life for the most part has improved. Mentally, I'm doing a lot better than I was. Like listen to records like Entropy, even listen to A Divine Suicide, and A Hellish Lazarus. I am miserable. I am not having a good time. And Land of the Queens is the first album that I can finally say it's obvious that I'm having fun. I am happy to be alive. Like, sure, there's a lot of turmoil, especially in the lyrics about trans genocide and like genocide in Palestine and like inequity between the rich and the poor and all this stuff. Lyrically, there's a lot of stuff going on, but you can tell in my voice and in the instrumentation that it's the first record that I'm like having a fucking blast making. Like I'm having fun. I'm having fun for once. And yeah, I'm doing a lot better because I realized and started going down this path. What was the point of that ramble? I don't remember. Anywho, let's talk about the album, I suppose. Fuck, I need to stretch. I'm getting old as shit. All right, so the album is 9 tracks split into. Wait, no, this album wasn't split into any sort of coherent thing. It was just a collection of songs for the most part. Right? Do I even remember my own fucking album? Oh yeah. So the album was made somewhat linearly in the sense that the last track, Land of the Queens, is the last one that I made. Although it's not the last one I finished, because I Got a Voice and I Must Scream was the very last one I finished. But it's the Land of the Queens is the last one I started working on. And so you can tell this kind of like instrumental progression and things are more developed on that track than any other track. Also, you can tell the back end of the record has much more squealy vocals than the first half. And honestly, I kind of fucked up my vocal delivery for a good while after recording the album, because anytime I tried recording anything, I would slip into that, which, to be fair, I like it. I think it's silly as hell and it feels so good to do, but not everybody wanted to hear that. Not everybody wants to hear that. In fact, I think that's one of the main drawbacks to the record in some people's eyes, is the vocals can get a little annoying. But to be fair, with every album that I've put out, my vocals have been a bit divisive because I don't have that much bass. I've never had that much bass in my vocals. And when I try to do, whenever I try to in the past, I've tried to do more bassier deliveries. It comes off like a little kid doing a big boy voice because, yeah, I don't have that much bass in my voice. Oh, fuck, dude. I have so much acid problems in my throat and stuff. So sorry if like every now and then, that happens. That always does. It's so annoying. I edit it out of my more edited type videos, but you know, this is uncut. This is unfiltered. This is uncensored. I can say what I want. Fuck you. So yeah. So I started working on the intro track first, Covered in the Blood. Well, you know, let's just go track by track. Covered in the Blood. It is a song. Originally, the album was going to be more. It was going to be about what it was always. It was always going to be very political. It was always going to be very angry. But it was originally going to be centered more on Christianity and theology and, you know, Christian nationalism and stuff. The record eventually did skew away from that because I felt like that would plunge the record too deep into topics that I don't really want to delve too deeply on, because it would just make a depressing listening experience for anyone who's dealt with that sort of thing. Which, if you're in America, you're dealing with it right now. And I don't want my music to be like detrimental to music, to your fucking mental health. I want to make fun stuff that, you know, also wants to tear down things. So, Covered in the Blood. Um, Obviously, using the metaphor of covered in the blood, like I'm covered in Jesus's blood, but the lyrics literally being covered in the blood. Motherfucker, they were covered in the blood. Now the step into the world, the money rotted, stepping over all the bodies in the flood. Comes in a bucket with the covered in the blood. Nice sound to the covered in your blood. Lights out with the permanent disregard and about it for the flood. Basically just rich eating the poor, and then claiming to be victims. That's the main message of the song. Yeah, I don't know. Poverty bad, government bad, kill the rich. Track 2, Pendulum. This song actually went through so many fucking rewrites and redos, because for the longest it was for like structured entirely different. There was this long intro part that was kind of stealing from Genesis Owusu's Gold Chains. No, not Gold Chains. Fuck. It was a Genesis Owusu song from Smiling with No Teeth. I don't remember which one in particular. But there was a kind of groove from it that I really liked that I wanted to incorporate into my stuff. But it eventually ended up not working out because the progression that I wanted to do would eventually build up in tempo and stuff until it gets into the chorus, which I do have that version on my computer still. Like, it's still a file that exists. It's not great. And the EDM beat that it breaks into, because this was always going to be more dance oriented record. That's very much hinted at with Covered in the Blood being pretty much just a breakbeat song, like a drum and bass. I don't know the genre typing. I just know that it's very much different from what I was doing before. Not very much, but you know what I'm saying. The EDM type breakbeat that it broke into on the chorus for this one was a bit too intense, or just didn't make sense. It was just way too jarring of a structure, from passage to passage to passage. Nothing really clicked together, and so I pretty much restructured the song completely. Took out the tempo build, took out all the complications, stripped it back to this very simple pop song where I got like a Looperman guitar sample, chopped the fuck out of it, and then made it this very simple, very, I guess, catchy. Kind of. It's kind of catchy. Would you say that's kind of catchy? I think it's kind of catchy. Thing. And actually, I'm gonna move my computer over here. I'm gonna splice this though. That way you don't have to look at my ass the entire time. Move my computer over here. That way I can actually see that I'm still recording. So let's fucking go. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, splice the fuck out of a Looperman guitar sample. Which a lot of times when I sample stuff, it's either from like TikTok or Looperman. Because I don't want to get hit with like copyright issues. I used to fucking sample Nintendo sounds on my first album, Phobia. Yeah, not a great idea because if they want to come for me, they very much have a case. They very much have a case because that's very blatant copyright infringing, girly. Infringement. Anywho, yeah. Splice the fuck out of a guitar sample, and then we get the standard boom, 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 of the drums, which is kind of like the basic dance melody. I mean, dance beat. But I decided, yeah, I'll do that for the entire album. It's fine. It's fine. I actually love how my vocals turned out on this. This was the first song in like ages that I recorded, and I loved how the vocals were coming out immediately. Like, this song didn't even take that many takes to record, aside from like the second verse, which I'll get into. The first verse and the chorus of "Better let the scar crushing motherfuckers know it goes the same way. Back and forth, pendulum swinging deadly to stay safe. War among a terrorist, save it to a grave. Stay back and forth, pendulum swinging deadly. Be kind of better, pray." Yeah. I was so happy with the vocals. Literally, that was a one take, I'm pretty sure. Like, my vocals sounded so crisp. They sounded so forceful. They sounded so joyous. Are you kidding me? Because I was free. Because I was free from, I'll get into that in a bit. I'll get into that later. But the second verse I will get into now. I actually re-recorded this one dozens and dozens of times because there were a couple different breaks in it where originally I was like, I want to do it one take. I want there to be no cuts and whatever because I'm not a big fan of cutting up songs in takes that much just because I feel like sometimes it can come off as inauthentic and it feels like I'm not giving enough effort. But when I tell you that my lungs just wouldn't fucking do it. My lungs wouldn't fucking do it. Because for some reason, I write the wordiest goddamn verses ever. I write and I write and I write and I write. And, you know, it can be kind of cool. It results in some decent poetry, but like also why do I write so much? Why do I write so much? Tone that shit down. I can't fit it all in my mouth. And so I had to splice it up with different takes, but I wanted them all to be done on the same day. That way the timbre of my voice and like the echo in the room and like everything would be exactly the same. The way I could just copy and paste the vocal track and do minimal fucking changes to the mixes and the EQs and the effects and stuff. Of course, that never works out, and I still have to make a big deal of corrections because I'll make a slightly different choice in delivery subconsciously for some reason. But for the most part, it does work. And eventually, after redoing this hundreds of times, I got a take that I was satisfied with. And then, instead of sending immigrants to Guantanamo, they started sending immigrants to El Salvador. So I changed the lyric on that and then re-recorded all of the second verse again, just so it could be timbrally cohesive, which I feel like it is. I feel like it does make sense timbrally, texturally. It still feels like it flows to me now, especially not having been so recently connected to it. Like time has passed, and so I've come more accustomed to how I sound on it. The song "Kill a Politician." That's what the song is about. That's also what pretty much what the next song is, Violence Conveyor Belt, even though that's more directly about the Palestine issue. Issue in big quotation marks. It's just, hey fucker, stop sending our money there to kill innocent children and women and families and men, and stop bombing them and stop shooting them and stop supporting the other side that just wants them dead for no fucking It's a very angry song. As you can tell by the title and the harsh noise and I love this song so much. I love this song. I was so fucking angry during this song. I am screaming my brains out on this one, right? Kind of. Yeah, during the chorus. Said something in the end, cause nobody ever did nothing in the beginning. Now it's all said and done, and the kid like a paper tango rain. All the history from it is in the sand, cause nobody ever said something in the end. Nobody ever did nothing in the beginning. Now it's all said and done, and the kid like a paper tango rain. All the history from it is in the sand, but it's free Palestine, motherfucker, free Palestine. From river to seas, free Palestine. He always wants a free Palestine. One of my favorite things that I started incorporating on this record, and this song is a big key example of it, is my bass playing. I play bass guitar. I would have an upright bass, but shit's expensive, and considering I can't even buy a new clarinet, which was stolen years ago, but I fucking miss so much. I have a bass guitar, which I started incorporating in my music as a guitar. I will distort the fuck out of it and just mix it to where it doesn't have as much bass in it. I don't know what to tell you. It's just a really thick guitar sound that is very and it's shown off mostly on this track. Yeah, because of that production choice, I feel like this song gets a lot more punch than just the harsh electronics and bit crushed bass on it would give it. Because oh my god, this song is so aggressive. I am so happy with how it turned out. Then we have Public Domain, track 4, which, when I said I was working on this album linearly, I guess I lied, because this song, at least the first half of it, before the slow beat switch into the tempo build on the thing where it progresses into a dance style beat that matches the rest of the record. Terrible sentence structure, I know. Before that, That is what was supposed to be on A Hellish Lazarus, I'm pretty sure. Because that was going to be a more political type song, but it didn't fit into that one's track list because that one is part of a duology concept record. A concept record duology about me coming out as a trans person. I don't know if the message went over people's heads because I didn't get any statements about it, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, this song, Public Domain, did not make it on that record for that reason. It just did not fit sonically. Also, it was originally going to be an acoustic guitar track. But I cannot fucking play the guitar. I have a guitar over there. I don't play it much because I suck ass at it. And that's why it's not an acoustic guitar track. I replaced the acoustic guitar chords with a simple synth stab that I eventually built a bunch of atmospheric pads and stuff around, and I think it turned out pretty damn good. It's still one of my favorites, and especially the vocal chords, vocal harmonies and stuff towards like the midpoint. I love how that fucking turned out so much. I've loved learning how to do choir stuff because I used to do singing stuff, but I'm talking about like making my own choir out of my own voices. It's so fucking fun. It's so fucking fun. It can be a little hard because I hate the sound of my voice sometimes, but I know I'm not hating it much anymore. Yeah, the second half of the song was originally going to feature Ace of Thorns on the chorus of the song. Take the money, take the gun and get out. Take a ton of it, 'cause you deserve it all or nothing. Because it was originally going to be me. But I was like, hey, I want this album to feature other trans people because this is called Land of the Queens. It's not Land of the Queen singular. I am not the queen. We are the queens. We built this for you. And that is the message of the record. But because Ace was going through a bunch of different stuff, and then eventually they had a lot of drama and stuff go on, so they pretty much backed away from the spotlight entirely, or at least as much as they can, because you can't stop a hungry fucking creator. They're gonna keep creating, and I don't like how much hate they've been receiving for everything that they put out, especially because it's the stuff that they're putting out is still good. But it's fine. I get why people are upset. It makes sense. But that's not why I didn't feature them. They didn't feature on the record because they were going through their own mental stuff at the time, and they just could not get it out. So I recorded the vocals, and plus I've learned from past fucking collaborations where people don't pull through, which is almost always. I fucking hate working with people because of it. But because in the past, people just will say, hey, let's collab, and then never get the shit to me. I've started the practice of recording my own thing, writing my own thing, and then saying, hey, you want to feature on this song? You'll take up this section, I'll just remove this vocal, and you can feature here. Which may not be the best collaboration practice, but considering I've had nothing but bad experiences with collaborators in the past, I mean, there's been a few times where collaborators have worked out, like Minus Gray on Death of a Nation and Entropy, and then Amatai Snow on Phobia. And then one of my friends, Just Joe, we made a whole collab record, Just Score, in 2022. Yeah, those ones worked out, but like there have been other ones that has been like, hey, it's actually been 6 months, but I actually don't think I can do the feature. And then you start moving on with the record without them, and they're like, hey, actually, you want me to pump out that verse tonight? No. No, I don't actually. I want you to go away. Fuck off. You didn't want to get it to me back in May. Fuck off. Kill yourself, actually. So because of that, I just record my own stuff, and so I had the chorus prepared and everything for the album. The rest of the song is not really that notable. I mean, it's kind of just on par with the rest of it. I love how the first half turned out, but I'm kind of mixed on the second half. It functions more as a transition point between that and Why Did You Disappear, I believe Why Did You Disappear comes next. What's the track list of my own album again? Looking this shit up on Album of the Year. Because I have a really bad memory, and it's 142, which I know is not that late, but for me, it's kind of late. Yeah, Why Did You Disappear is next. I thought so. I'm a good musician. I know my own album. Why Did You Disappear comes next. This one, again, like I said, lied about the coherence, the linearity of the progression of this record. Why Did You Disappear had been sitting in my unused files for like a year or two. Because I made this dance beat forever ago. I don't even remember when. I might have even been before a Hellish Lazarus, but I just had no real use for it because I don't know if you've listened to my music. I don't make dance music that much. It's not a thing that I do. So this very glitchy dance beat, which by the way goes so fucking hard, would have stuck out like a sore thumb on any other record. This one, however, that I feel is a lot more dance oriented, it doesn't stand out that much, especially because I sampled these other vocals from Looperman, not a feature. I was eventually going to the reason why the lyrics on Bandcamp are wrong. They still are right now. I'm planning on going back and fixing them, but who knows if I ever will. The vocals are actually a vocal sample from Looperman. I was originally going to record my own thing. I wrote my own thing to go over it to replace that, but I eventually just liked how they sounded, so I kept them. And then I wrote my own second verse. I get to speak when I walk in that bitch, a position proceeding and numbing this riff. Plotting the citizens who are considering some that is sinister within the mist, some that is slithering someone intentionally. The people who differ from then, the thing and profound is this, but some are denying reality. People are in the one to put me in a camp because they care if they hit it when distance with the skin. I ain't not copy pasted, torn for the fabric of life and embedded in this. Some of us been through shit, some of it's unspeakable and damn just how we live. At least what's told to me really wish I knew a way to make it make sense to them. I know who I am, and I can pretend no more to be a boy when it hurts to be him. God damn, and I can pretend no boy to be. Hurts that feeling like we existed. I don't fucking know. I don't remember. I just remember that the verse is sick. And yeah, there's literally not much to say about it. It's just I took a beat that I made like a couple of years ago, wrote a verse over it, threw a vocal sample on it, manipulated the fuck out of the vocal sample, because that's not the pitch, nor that's not the pitch that it's in, and that's not the key. That's not the. I think it was even in a different whatever. Who cares? Next song, fucking boom ba-dum boom ba-dum boom ba-dum ba-dum boom ba-dum ba-dum. Genre is a social construct, which I named kind of jokingly because gender is a social construct, kind of a joking statement, but also true. Gender is a fucking social construct. But I named genre is a social construct because one, gender is a social construct would be too fucking on the nose. Two, genre is a social construct. I mean, is more potent to the album because I guess you could call this album dance punk. That's what I'm calling it. But what is it really? It's all over the place, kind of, in a way that I think is odd and fun and creative. Not to suck my own meat or anything, but like, what the fuck is this album? What did I do here? I cooked is what I did. So yeah, this song is really playful. I made this in maybe like a day or two. It wasn't even intending to go on the album, but it just ended up going on the album. It was originally going to be longer, but just like with my other poppier ventures, like A Divine Suicide. Well, I guess it's my only other poppier venture. The main thing of the album, tighten ideas, cut back on the fat, trim down ideas, hone things down, make your choruses catchier, make your verses flow into the choruses better. That is the main modus operandi of the record. And so I trimmed the fat that was supposed to come after the big noise passage at the end, and I made that noise passage have a 4-beat count into Sinner, Sinner, Piggy Dinner, which my God, I love this fucking song, Sinner, Sinner, Piggy Dinner. Not only from the silly ass vocal delivery to the oink motherfucker, oink, oink motherfucker, oink, oink motherfucker, oink, oink motherfucker. Oh my God, I just had so much fun with this one. But the lyricism on this one is still so fucking dark. It's literally depicting when I came home, at least the first verse is depicting when I came home. The song generally is about police ineptitude, not protecting black and brown neighborhoods, because I live on the poor side of town, where a lot of crime and stuff happens. Like sometimes I'll just be chilling and I hear gunfire right outside my fucking apartment. It just happens, whatever. What are you gonna do? And I came home one day and the apartment next to me had their sliding glass door, because we all have sliding glass doors here. I hate it. I always keep mine covered up. I don't want people looking at me. But I came home and theirs was completely shattered. Their place had been completely broken into, and there wasn't any sort of like marking off of the area, no investigation, nothing. Nobody was there. Nobody gave a fucking shit. And that was just very disheartening to see. Like, it's not the first time that I'd seen anything like that, but it's just like, I don't feel safe. But not like the police are going to make me feel safe. There's nothing that's going to make me feel safe. Y'all don't give a fuck about us because we're poor. Fuck you. So yeah. Um, I saw behind the shattered window pane. I was a barren with no evident police tape. It all open for the public to pick and take and get whatever, cause it doesn't matter anyway. Nobody's watching out. The camera's there for image sake to show a promise to the unassuming immigrants, and didn't know that cast the ringing of metallic spray. Oh yeah, the groove of this one I based off of Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. I based the groove off of Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. I fucking love Billie Eilish. My favorite album of hers, Happier Than Ever. Ah, it's incredible. It's so incredible. Billie Eilish, she's so pretty. She's so gender envy. But her music is and Bad Guy is so fucking good. I wish that it didn't have the edgy outro at the end, but hey, nothing's perfect. Except her. Not Billy, but sorry, my brain. I should hold on. I'm gonna. All right. Let me clap to sync this shit. And then I'll have to dub that shit back where it goes. All right. So, yeah, base the groove off of Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. I don't know what to say. There's an Animal Farm reference. All pigs are created equal. Some pigs are just a little more. Because there's the thing of some pigs are more equal than other pigs or whatever. I have Animal Farm over there, right? Yeah, I have George Orwell's Visions of Dystopia, which is a compilation book of 1984, I think. Sorry, I actually have not read that one yet. I plan to. And Animal Farm. There might be another one, but I think it's just those two because 1984 is kind of bigger. Oh no, but also Old MacDonald had a farm. Uncle Sammy had a farm. The USS name. Oh. I don't know. I would just be fucking silly on this song, and I love how it fucking turned out. Next song was what the fuck comes next on my album? Oh, I Got a Voice and I Must Scream. Look, I knew this song would be the least popular, the most most hated when I made it. However, it turns out actually the least popular and it seems like the least liked song is Public Domain. And to an extent, I can see why. Because it is like the slowest, or at least it starts the slowest. But hey, y'all aren't annoyed at my very annoying screaming? Like, I'm screaming my fucking brains out on this song. And this song, especially my delivery towards the end of the record, is very Otoboke Beaver inspired. I really got into Itacoma Hits and Super Champon towards the end of making the record. Not even the end, but like halfway through making the record, I really fucked with those records so hard. And I wanted to incorporate the cheer punk sound into my stuff. And eventually my voice shifted to that register. Loud, be proud, tell authoritarian to pipe down. I got a voice and I'm a scheme. And that's kind of how it turned out. And I fucking love this song. It eventually breaks into a slower, more tamed vocal thing of so you let bigots get too comfortable because you thought tolerating intolerance would breed different mold. You entertain their stone-said hateful thoughts. Another next generation's been given only that to hold. Yeah. Can we stop debating right wingers? Like, literally, all we're doing by debating them is just platforming them. Literally, that is what has caused a lot of issues, in my opinion, in this country today. We have given these right wing fucking weirdos who would be outsiders platforms by constantly making fun of them and debating them and all this stuff. We need to just like not ignore them, but like condemn them. We don't need to entertain their ideas. Their ideas are fucking bad. They should kill themselves. I should probably censor that. I don't think I will though. I'm just worried YouTube might take the video down because of that specific segment there, but Fuck you. That's what the song is, essentially. Just fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And in fact, there was another bit of the song that eventually did get scrapped because I was unsure about how it would be perceived. I'm trying to pull the thing up. I think I have the title as I Got a Voice and I'm a Scream. Hell yeah. I did change it. There's other vocals towards the end that I cut just because the song would be a little bit long and I don't want to overstay this one's welcome. This one, just like genre is a social construct. This one and that one are more interludes in my head, trying to be like the shortest ones, just bridging the gap between different points. And I didn't want to overstay this one's welcome, especially with the vocals at the end that would have been a bit more aggressive, like because it goes, I got a voice and I must scream against the ones who hate me religiously, and then that's the end of the song. But here's where it would go, like Trump, and fuck everyone who was like Trump, fuck Trump, and fuck everyone who got him voted up, like Musk, fuck Musk, and fuck everyone who still gives him funds, like you, fuck you, and fuck everyone who, put the Twitter down and take a look at you. Yes, you. Fuck you. Don't you listen if you're still supporting Nazis. You're not welcome here. And then the song would cut there and progress into the final track of the record, which is the final track of the record, Land of the Queens, which is also one of my favorite songs I've ever made. It's just so hooky. It's like the perfect pop song structure. It's just verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. I love this song so much. The energy on it, how much fun I had recording it, how much fun I had mixing it, the basic dance beat of it, the drony midpoint with my screams and stuff. I love this song. And lyrically, it's the most fucking vindicating and wrapping up the whole themes of the record. It's just, in my opinion, the best outro I've made, and it's not really even close. Because before it was By the Brook, which, yes, great fucking outro. I love that song. In fact, I finished that song and I had to put it out the second it was done. Because not only was it a great ass song that I made, but it was a fuck you to a certain someone who kept checking in on me on Instagram, despite like being a kind of bad person in my life beforehand. They said they can't trust me, we can't be friends, we can't do anything, but they'll still check on me every now and then. So this song, By the Brook, is a fuck you to them, and it seems like they got the message. Since I started posting this on my Instagram, they stopped checking in on me. I've not seen them since. Which good. Farewell. Bye bye. Good riddance. Yeah, this song, Land of the Queens, oh my god. We built this for you. The rights you take granted, the minds are more managed. You go home in one piece, and all the end is you do get it covered by your employer set so you can easily sleep. You're no longer fed of the wolves, but we're mad, we're greedy, we're bad for every worker. You would rather use our text, we would rather use our text for your wars, but we're mad, we're evil, and so you, and, I don't remember the first verses out, the last line. It's fine. You get the point. It's just berating different branches of people for disregarding trans people from the equation. Like, what is it? What is that one California, right? The Stonewall Museum. Apparently they got rid of trans people from the museum for a bit. Maybe still not there. And it's like, hey, we did that. Trans people did that. Without trans people, queer people wouldn't have many of the rights that they do. I'm not saying that trans people did everything, but like my fellow trans girlies have done so much for the movement, and to see them erased from the equation is more than disheartening. It's infuriating. It's frustrating. It is heartbreaking. It is soul crushing to just see the government on websites about fucking immigrating and stuff. They removed the T from LGBTQ. They just have it as LGB travelers. The government and a lot of people in power and museums are literally trying to erase trans people. And that is what frustrated me so much to make this song and this fucking album. Because let me say, I was going through a very dark time in my life when he got elected. And it got worse. But when he got elected, instead of cowering or feeling defeated, I felt a fire in me. I felt like I needed to do this thing. That could be my last album. That could be my last statement before they kill me and anyone who is like me. So I remember specifically there was one car ride back from somewhere where I was with my trader at the time, my now ex, who I called a traitor, because she literally cheated on me and lied to me for months and months, and it's a bad, very bad situation. I'm not making music about it on the Agora project. A very bad situation. I remember the specific car ride that we were coming home from, like after the election, and I was just thinking, conceptualizing, thinking about how best to go about navigating the world now that the United States will become a fucking wasteland for anyone like me. Now that it'll become way harder for anyone like me to live here comfortably, anyone like me to get anywhere, anyone like me to be seen. And to be able to put that to song in a way that I'm more than happy with, in a way that it seems like a lot of people are happy with, feels powerful, but it doesn't feel like I'm making as much of an impact as I would like because the message still isn't getting out there. Like, I don't think my music is going to change the world or anything. That's not the point of it. The point of it is just to hopefully instill power and passion into oppressed people of the queer community to do something. We need to do something. We need to stop talking and do something. Whatever that looks like, we need to do. We need to get up and do. Also, fuck you, computer, for constantly going into your fucking saver. Ugh. Why does it not want me to burn this shit into the screen? Come on. I'm just terrified for what the future of America holds, and it's getting worse and worse every day. I'm recording this on July 2nd, where I opened TikTok this morning and saw Alligator Alcatraz, which is just a concentration camp. That's what it is. It's horrifying. Why are we doing this? Why are we letting this happen? Why are we not doing anything? Why is nobody doing anything? We, as the people, hold the power. They can't stop all of us. They can't stop all of it. If everybody does something, we saw this with the No Kings protest, where millions and millions of Americans gathered in every street, and not even Americans, across the world, gathered in the streets to protest the fucking tyranny going on. We have the power. Why are we not doing anything? What are we doing? Yeah. I by myself am too weak to do anything. I alone am weak. That is why with my art I hope to push out to other people and invigorate them so that we can all band together to be stronger and hopefully push for active change and reform and fight back against the militant tyranny that is arising in this country. Not even arising, it's here. It's here. We need to do something. And that is what this album is. That's what this album is. To me, at least. That was the inspiration behind the album. Fear of transgenocide, which unfortunately could be happening. It's already happening currently with illegal immigrants, just anyone that they don't like, just any fucking person. Once they're done with them, they're gonna come for queer people, and once they're done with them, they're gonna go for women, and once they're done with them, they're gonna keep going until every faction is done, other than the rich. Like, we're not doing anything. We need to do something. I sorry that this rant has plunged into very deep, despondent places, but I mean, that's literally the inspiration behind the record. A very deep, despondent place, and I feel like lyrically it is a deep, despondent record, but sonically, I'm going, oh my god, I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun. I'm having a fucking blast. Isn't that cool? This album, like I said on public domain, right before the beak switch, was one more party before we all die. I feel like this could be my last, or I felt like while making it, this could have been my last statement as a person, as a trans person, as a queer person, as a human being on this planet, as a poor person in America. But so I wanted to make my last statement, if it would be my last, fun and appealing and actually be able to grab people's attention other than like a boring abstract record, which being weird and abstract and artsy, I love it. Not gonna lie. That's what a Hellish Lazarus kind of is. That's what Entropy kind of is. But this record, I wanted to get in people's faces and say, hey, look, it's gonna get worse. It's getting worse. We need to fix this. We need to do something. Another big inspiration was the Trader, the person who very much broke me down for a while. I am doing better now because I am hanging out with my bestest friend in the whole world a lot, and she's like my favorite person ever. I love her so much. I just want to give her everything. She's so cool. And she has helped me so much with my mental health and piecing back my life together. Like I'm doing horrible financially. I'll say I'm doing horrible, but that's not her doing. That is the Trader's doing for maxing out both of my goddamn credit cards. And then sending me to the hospital for a suicide attempt. Like, girl, just let me die. Just let me die. To be fair, I only took 9 Tylenol, so I wouldn't have died anyway. But still, it's like I'm in a lot of debt because of her, and my mental health has been spiraling. But thanks to my best friend, I have come back to a really decent place. And so the tracks that I wrote about the breakup initially are not on the record, and they're never going to be released under the Agora project. That is. Because I don't want to stain this album about unity and fighting back and America and queer people and identity. I don't want to stain this record with my own personal struggles. This is my least personal record, I will say. I talk about almost nothing going on with me. I try and reach a wider net because I want the messages to hit people, and I'm doing observations that I feel like people can relate to and people can resonate with. I don't need the hatred and the emptiness and the bitterness that I felt from that person to stain this record. And I didn't let it stain it. And the record is all the better for it. So fuck you. The anger is seeped into the record. Like I will say, the anger is there. I'm very much frustrated, but I'm also having fun. But you know, there's an aggression to this record that was not on previous records, other than like Blight Lord on the last one. I don't know. I'm just yapping at this point, I feel like. So I'll wrap it up here and say thank you for listening to the album if you have. I'm assuming if you watched this, you have listened to the album. Thank you for listening and supporting me. Yeah. It feels weird to say that. Not like it's a big record or I had that much support, but I mean, it's more support than I've gotten in the past. And I'm glad to see the message resonating with the people that it resonates with. It genuinely means a lot to me, and I thank you all so much. Yeah. I'm gonna end the recording now. If my fucking computer will stop doing that.